dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News Weekend Edition.
Good morning, I'm Taylor Upchurch. Today is Saturday, May 4th. It involves horses and a great sense of urgency, but it's not the Kentucky Derby. Instead, about half a dozen search and rescue organizations are combing through the Laurel County community trying to find a man who went missing Wednesday evening. Justin Case has more.
Tony Gibson was last seen Wednesday evening around 6. His wife says nothing like this has ever happened before.
He came out to finishing up things while I was cooking dinner, and it was like he just vanished.
Multiple organizations are searching this rural community, which is about 10 miles east of London. They're using everything at their disposal: ATVs, drones, horse-mounted search teams, even dive teams.
Listening to the family, this is nothing like Tony. He never does nothing like this. He's the kind of guy that stays at home all the time, never leaves, and that's what's got us so concerned.
Seeing the team searching for Tony is giving his wife hope he'll be found soon.
Today has been more hope than anything. I mean, coming in with the horses and the ATVs and the drones.
Tony's wife says he always carries his wallet with him. It was Thursday when she found it inside their home.
That gave us reason to think that he might have left the property, but we did find it last night, and so he has nothing on him except for what clothes he has on his back.
The search has only intensified with storms moving through the area and talk that Tony may be experiencing depression. Tony's wife says he recently lost his mother, sister, and aunt.
He had an aunt that just passed away of cancer the same way, and so he was feeling depressed, I guess, a little, and bringing back the memories of his mom.
The search is now expanding to nearby ponds. Rescue teams say they will be back out Saturday to continue looking for Tony.
And if you know where he's at or have seen him, please call your local law enforcement. And he's not in trouble by no means. We're just trying to locate him.
Hoping for a loved one to be found safe.
Tony Gibson is described as 5 feet 4 inches tall and about 125 pounds. He has a mustache and a mole on his forehead. He was last seen wearing a blue shirt and blue jeans. And now let's check in with meteorologist Shane Smith for a look at your forecast this morning. Shane, it was a little soggy out there yesterday. How is it for today?
Going to be a little soggy again today, Taylor. In fact, could see some heavy rain this afternoon. Right now, mainly dealing with fog and a few scattered showers. Here's a look at our weather cam from up at Whitesburg. And you see that fog is thick in the mountains this morning with several locations under a half-mile of visibility. So if you're going to be out and about early today, just realize that fog and rain will likely slow down your commute. You can see on Pinpoint Doppler some light shower action just to the west of Hazard, over towards Manchester, extending up into Lee, Estill, and Breathitt counties and Owsley County. We have a flash flood watch out for all the counties highlighted in green because the rain we see this afternoon could be on the heavy side and may cause some isolated high water problems. A cold front is off to the west. That's what's going to bring us the rain today, and you can see some heavier showers and storms down in the deep south. Those will head our way later. Temperatures right now into the 60s, and we only top out into the low 70s today. So a soggy Derby day. However, the second half of the weekend not looking quite as bad. We'll have more on that here in a few minutes, Taylor.
All right, thank you, Shane. The primary election is less than 3 weeks away, and as of yesterday, you can now vote in person absentee in every Kentucky county. There are some requirements to vote this way, and here are a few. You'll have to be out of the county on Election Day, a student living outside the county temporarily, or have a surgery scheduled that would have you in the hospital on Election Day. In-person absentee voting ends May 20th, the day before the primary election. And May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and like adults, children also face mental health issues. Children who deal with traumatic experiences are more likely to suffer later on in life. Some of those experiences include child abuse or having a parent who is an addict. Reports show in Kentucky both overdose deaths and child abuse are above the national average.
So many childhood experiences increases your risk of different things, and it's things like heart disease and life expectancy.
Jill Martin hopes spreading awareness about these issues will help educate people and get them to speak out. You can report child neglect or abuse in Kentucky at 877-597-2331. And a well-known Floyd County teacher and historian died Thursday night. WYMT's Lauren McCourt met with his students and colleagues who say the impact he left will never fade.
When only 45 kids are in the school, students and teachers are more like family.
We kind of became his second family in a sense.
And every student at the Davis School considered Floyd Davis a father figure.
And every morning he would get me pour his coffee and put him some waffles in the toaster.
From joking around in the classroom.
Wasn't a day that went by that he didn't make me laugh. He was really funny. Once he starts laughing, everybody's laughing.
To helping others in the community.
Was a staple in the community, not only at the school.
Floyd Davis let nothing stop him from serving others.
You always saw Floyd outside with his kids, even though he was confined to a wheelchair.
Though he struggled with health problems, he never let that bring his spirit down.
He was the type to look at the glass half full instead of half empty.
And made sure to let his students know that he cared.
He loved these kids. And they're really going to miss him a lot.
Though Davis will no longer be in the classroom.
Really took it for granted the time that we had with him.
The impact he left on each of his students will carry on. In Floyd County, Lauren McCourt, WYMT Mountain News.
Visitation for Davis will be held today, and funeral services will be tomorrow at 4 at the Carter Funeral Home. And today, family and friends will say a final goodbye to a little Pike County boy. Keegan Ryan Music died in an ATV crash Sunday. His funeral is today at noon. Services are being held at Pilgrim's Home Old Regular Baptist Church in Grethel. He was just 6 years old. An Eastern Kentucky nurse is accused of diluting a pain reliever with saline. Kelsey Spencer now faces federal charges. Here she is. Prosecutors also say she lied to an investigator with the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. If convicted, she faces up to 10 years in prison and tens of thousands of dollars in fines. It's unclear who she's working for, but the alleged crime happened in Johnson County. And Kentucky State Police say a Letcher County man uploaded images of child porn online. They arrested Chad Krause Thursday. Investigators say it all started with an undercover investigation into internet crimes against children. Troopers served a search warrant at his home and took electronics. He faces 20 Class D felonies and, if convicted, faces 1 to 5 years in prison on each count. An iconic Hazard business is closing its doors by the end of the month. Gordon's Photo Center has been in business for more than half a century. Its owner has photographed multiple sitting presidents and major events like the Kentucky Derby. But at 72 years old, he says he's ready to retire and spend some time with his family. He made sure the building was sold before he left.
I just couldn't stand to see something that I worked so hard for to deteriorate.
The shop will officially close its doors on May 24th. Gordon says he still plans on living right here in Hazard. And Cumberland Gap National Historical Park rangers say bears are out, but you can prevent them from coming near your home. Rangers say try to avoid leaving your trash out the night before pickup, not leaving food in bird feeders, and not leaving excess food in a dog bowl outside can help deter bears from coming close to your homes near wooded areas.
And that's why here at Cumberland Gap we have a wonderful program called Back the Bears, Be Educated and Responsible Stewards. And we can be those stewards and we can live harmoniously together.
Rangers say if you happen to see a bear near your home or crossing the road, it's probably looking for food or a new habitat and shouldn't be a problem. Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a legal fight in Kentucky over subpoenas sent to school districts as part of an investigation into teacher sick-outs continues. And later in sports, the 145th running of the Kentucky Oaks took place yesterday evening in front of 106,000 horse racing fans. Find out who won the Lilies coming up.
And as they run for the roses on this Derby day, it's going to be pretty soggy. A look at how much rain we can see is coming up right after this.